Mass Pekka is dominating Builder Base 2.0, and in today's video you're going to watch the number 6 player in the world dominate with Mass Pekkas, and at the end I'm going to give you his base link with a replay for that, so stick around to see the best strategy and the best base at Builder Hall 10. I just genuinely can't believe this is actually the meta, but let's enjoy it and watch here. We all love Pekkas, so using the battle machine on the flank, that's not an unusual phenomena. Keep an eye on that. Few Pekkas down the middle to tank for the wall breaker. The wall breaker is arguably the most important troop here. One Pekka on the bottom, and it's just about using your overcharge abilities properly here. He messes up that Pekka on the top next to the crusher, but yeah, even look at that. He messes it up versus the crusher, and it still only gets hit twice. Quite a tanky troop for us. And yeah, this whole army is just saying the base cannot do enough damage. Pekkas have too much hit points, and the overcharge ability is insane. And notice how he's not scared to use the overcharge abilities. He's not trying to save them for when they're nearly dead or for the rest of the base. You're actually much better off using it earlier than later. And we get this base down with 3 Pekkas and a wall and a bomber, left. Let's have a look at stage 2. Here it is. And the strategy for stage 2 is almost always this. He's going to use the remaining troops he has left as a ground kill squad, and then he's going to come in with baby drags on the back end to take down what's left. And this is, I think baby drags in stage 2 is absolutely the best decision. So we're setting a funnel on the top side. I don't know why he uses the ability other than to hurry up on that top side. The bomber is so important with this army, honestly. You can't afford the bomber to die in stage 1. Battle machine's doing its thing. And look, these final Pekkas are going through the center, and we want them to get rid of these firecrackers. The battle machine is thankfully coming back, and we're just being really patient with our baby drags here. Time is not an issue with this army, which is why it's quite strong. Then the 2 baby drags to deal with the 2 firecrackers, and they can easily do that with the fiery cone ability. And look, this is it doesn't look wrecked, but this is pretty wrecked. This was never really in doubt. Does our battle machine go down here? Oof. F in the chat for that. There is an air bomb here, and you do have to worry about air traps with the baby drags because they are seriously effective. But yeah, baby drag's going to clear out the base here, and that right there is kind of how it's done. Let's give you some more examples though, because this base was a little easy, but the next ones aren't so easy. Alright, here he is coming in on this base. This is a stock base, I believe. I've seen this base a few times myself, but I want to talk about this, because look at this. There's a lava launcher on this base, there's a giant cannon, a mega Tesla, and there's 2 crushers. So you're probably looking at this base and thinking, this is rather anti-Pekka. But the problem with this base is it's quite open. So look at this. We've got the wall breaker on the bottom side, and that's going to open up a 3rd entry, and then we've got up the top near one crusher and down the bottom near another. And what this means is we can kind of just overwhelm the base. We don't have to enter at the same point with our Pekkas. We're just going to come from a million different angles, and just, yeah, the base is going to have no chance. We're trying to keep that bomber alive with the Pekka. Unfortunately, the crushers on the bottom kind of wrecking our battle machine, so we're forced to use the ability there. But thankfully, it was a level 2 ability, not level 1. And look, we use that overcharge in the center perfectly, and we have every single Pekka up. When you've got so many different ways you can enter the base, Pekkas will wreck you. So I think you're going to see a lot more compact bases with closed walls, so that yes, you can bring the bomber, but you're not going to be able to open up different areas of the base with one bomber, right? Whereas this base, you could just attack different areas of it, and it was a little too easy. And the other thing we didn't talk about is because that first base was so anti-ground, look at this. There's 1 air bomb and 1 firecracker. Looks pretty good for the backhand baby drags. Obviously, there is only 1 air bomb anyway, but yeah, pretty good for the baby drags. And notice he is using the battle copter here. Most people won't be using this much because their battle copter will be level 15 or level 20. So, you know, don't worry about using that too much with this strategy. Only use it if your battle machine has no HP. But look at this. We've got 5 Pekkas. He's still got 7 army camp slots for the second attack. Like, that's just way too many. This auto outpost does not stand a chance, and that Pekka's just trying to funnel. He used, I don't know if he knew if that was one of his weaker Pekkas or not. Well, you can see the troop bar. Yeah, he did. So he used one of his weaker Pekkas to funnel around, and then he just went straight through the wall with the other Pekkas. Now, he is kind of having to deploy them all on the same tile, but that's what happens when you don't have the bomber. He's just using the battle copter on the top side, uses an overcharge ability there. I bet you'll see a second overcharge ability. Yep, that's not surprising. We use a final Pekka on the outside. I don't know if there's a reason for this other than tanking for the Arch Tower, maybe. And will that Pekka get rid of the Firecracker? It won't, but we've got the Fiery Cone ability, and that is a GG's. This one's even more wrecked than the first one. Even though the first base was really anti-ground, he was able to use the Pekkas to take down the entire base, just completely and utterly overwhelming. This base here is also really anti-ground. Now, there is an air expo, and that's probably just to make sure this base isn't free triple for air, because there's no firecrackers. But I mean, look, we have 2 crushers. We have, what do we have? A Mega Tesla. We've got a giant cannon, and we've got a few double cannons. Those double cannons are really bad, but I mean, look at these Pekka abilities. They are so good. Oh, it just does so much damage. The Pekkas 3-shot the Town Hall. Ouch. As in, it was 3 individual shots. So 2 Pekkas, it takes 1.5 shots. And then that Crusher only gets 1 shot off. It does do a fair bit of damage. But I mean, did this base ever really stand a chance? Look at how quickly this goes down as well. I didn't see the clock when this attack started, but what, that was like 60 seconds? I literally can't keep up with what's happening, even though he's just spamming Pekkas. So I guess for all of you old builder base lovers who kind of like the spam, you can spam. The spam meta is here in the builder base. Didn't think I'd be saying that. Look at this base. This base should give you an idea of how many anti-ground defenses were in the first base. This is a free triple. Yes, there are 2 double cannons and they do hurt a lot. But I mean, yeah, look at it. He doesn't even bring the baby drag. So this is what I like about what Harmless is doing here. Like, normally he is bringing the baby drag, but he's not an idiot. He is going to bring 2 extra Pekkas with his army this time rather than 2 baby dragons, because there's literally 5 air defenses, or 5 firecrackers, sorry, left on the base. And we just keep using Pekka overcharges. It's quite funny, honestly. He just needs to get the double cannon down. I think he's still got an overcharge. No, he doesn't. Or he would have used it. And he has 3 Pekkas up. So you've seen a few different bases here. And definitely some anti-ground bases trying to stop these mass Pekka attacks that are really, really common and look like they're really hard to stop. But even if you've got an anti-ground base, if you know what you're doing with the Pekkas and you know how to maximize the battle machine, I didn't talk about it a lot, but if you want, go back and watch what he does with his battle machine. He never lets his battle machine die before it gets to like at least a level 2 ability. Final attack here, and I want you to notice something. Look at his army training camp here. Mass baby drags is trained up. So those are the 2 predominant strategies in high builder base. It's either mass Pekkas or mass baby drags. Both have their pros and cons. Both have the times when you should use them. You should get good at using both of them. I would probably lean towards Pekkas at the moment, but that is just me, because have a look at this here. This is a pretty solid base. Now, we have the Expo is on air, which is obviously helping us. Now, our battle machine dies really quickly here, probably a bit quicker than we were hoping for. Don't know why we're not using the overcharge on the bottom Pekka. Yep, there it goes. Saves that second shot from the Crusher. And I mean, look at this. I mean, this is just brutal. This is just brutal. Now, that Crusher does a really good job at hitting that Pekka on the top so many times, but we still have 3 Pekkas up. I mean, when you've got open bases like this, and yet again, I'm talking about it, when you've got bases where you can kind of come from different angles with your Pekkas and the battle machine, it will be a little easier than some of the other bases. Like the base layout you'll see coming up next. Okay, let's have a look at the second stage here. And there is 3 air defenses, so it's not as easy as normal. They're quite well buried within the base, but Harmless still wants to come with an air attack instead of a ground attack. Kind of makes sense, because look, our bomber died. If he had the bomber, he might have gone with a ground attack here. I don't know for sure, but I would presume he might think about a ground attack. But without that bomber, it's just not worth it because the Pekkas will just get wrecked beating walls. So he will come in with a kill squad here. Hopefully they all target the same wall. Looks like they do. Yep. Nicely done there. The battle copter is getting targeted by the air defense. Pekka, oh my, that Pekka overcharge was so good. Baby drag comes on the top side, gets rid of a building, and we're just hanging on to this final baby drag. Oh, that ability was so good from the battle copter. And now we're going to come in with the baby drag from here, and the reason we're coming from this angle is so we can cone, hit that firecracker, and that is a GG. And I think that was the nicest attack, saving the best for last. So nicely done from Harmless here. And you might want to notice this guy's name. This is quite funny. You're going to find out the order I'm recording this video in, because this defender, this is not the last time he appears in the video. Here is the base Harmless is using. If I'm not mistaken, this is an Itsu base, but don't hold me to that. I don't know for sure. But why is this base so good? Have a look at it. It is so anti-Pekka. There's a Crusher here. There's a Crusher here. There's a Lava Launcher. There's a Mega Tesla. And there's two double cannons and one giant cannon. Ridiculously anti-ground, but also look at how compact it is, right? And there's so many different compartments. There's 5 different compartments on this base. And what does that mean? You just don't really want to come with a ground attack at all. Also, not too much cannon cart value. So what are people doing? Well, people are coming in with the baby drags, like you see this attack here, because there's no air bombs and no firecrackers. So technically what this base here is doing is saying, I'm not going to let you beat me with mass Pekkas, because mass Pekkas is way too hard to stop. This base is just saying, beat me with air, and if you beat me with air, so be it. But yeah, this attacker is not going to beat Harmless with air. He's saying he very rarely gets tripled, 6 stars, sorry, using this base. A lot of the people get like 4 to 5 stars, which is pretty common in the top 10 of builder base, but not many people 6 star at all. I'm gonna have to get used to saying 6 star at one point or another. But look, just going around with the baby drags, but notice how we kind of wasted the battle machine here, and we've got the Expo on air. I guess I didn't really talk about that Expo being on air, but it's not the best anti-air defense. It's just ranged. It actually doesn't do as much damage as you'd think, but yeah, look at the range on it. Range is really good. And have a look, like this attack is going to get close. It does get quite close. There is only one air targeting defense. Oh, it's 2, sorry. But look at the air giant bombs. Oh, this base is trapped so well. And those 2 air targeting defenses will stay up. And this base will actually hold a 1-star. 1-star defense at the top of builder base. Absolutely insane. The link for this base will be in the description down below. Let me know how the base goes for you, and make sure to give your thanks to Harmless. Also, let me know what builder base content you would like to see. I did a cannon cart guide the other day. Cannon cart is my favorite troop in the game. I will link that on my left, but we're just going to watch this one end up here. Nice try to Costers, but I can't believe I'm about to say this. Harmless too OP.